Bilqis returned to her kingdom as a changed woman. The same roads she had traveled before now felt different under her feet. The same people who bowed before her now looked at her with questions in their eyes. She was still their queen, still wearing her crown, still respected and honored by all. But inside her heart something deep had shifted. She was no longer just the ruler of a rich land. She was now a servant of Allah. Her heart had tasted the sweetness of belief, and once that happens, the world never looks the same again. The light she had found in the court of Sulayman was not something she could leave behind. It had entered her heart and settled there like a flame that does not burn but brings peace and warmth. It gave her a new purpose, a new reason to lead, and a new way to think. She now looked at her people not just as citizens of her kingdom, but as souls that needed truth, just like she had needed it. And this made her leadership even more valuable. Now she was not just guiding them in politics or trade, she was trying to guide them in faith. It is not easy to stand before a nation and tell them that their old way is wrong, especially when that way has been followed for generations. The people of Sheba loved their queen, but they also loved their traditions. They believed in the sun. They trusted the ways of their fathers and grandfathers. And now, she had to tell them that the sun is only a creation, not a god. She had to help them understand that the one who made the sun is far greater, far more powerful, and far more deserving of worship. Bilqis knew this would not be done with force. Faith cannot grow in a heart that is pushed. It grows when the heart sees truth and feels it deeply. So she spoke with the same wisdom that she had shown before. She shared her journey with them. She told them about the signs she had seen. The throne that appeared in an instant, the floor of glass that looked like water, the calm strength of Sulayman, and the peace she felt when she said, "I submit to the Lord of the worlds." She didn't speak like someone who had changed her religion. She spoke like someone who had found the purpose of her life. Some people must have believed her right away. They saw the change in her. They heard her voice and felt her truth. Others might have been unsure. Change always brings confusion for some. But what matters is that Bilqis did not give up. She planted the seeds of faith in her land. Slowly, with patience and love, she helped her people see what she had seen. And even if some never accepted, her own belief remained strong, unshaken, and pure. That was her victory. Not just as a queen, but as a believer. The story of Bilqis teaches us many things. It teaches us that no matter how high someone is in this world, they still need guidance. Even a queen who has everything can be missing the most important thing. And it also teaches us that when someone finds the truth, they should not keep it to themselves. They should share it, live it, and help others find it too. Bilqis could have gone back to her palace and kept quiet. She could have lived a private life of belief. But she chose to lead her people toward the light. That is real courage. Some stories say that Bilqis later married Sulayman. Some say she ruled her people with justice and wisdom until her death. But the Quran does not tell us those details. It leaves her story where it matters most, at the point where her heart accepted the truth. Because that is what really matters. Not what happens after, not the politics or the history, but the moment of belief. The moment when a soul turns to Allah and says, "I was wrong, and now I return." That is the real ending. Or maybe it is the real beginning. Imagine how her days changed after that. The way she woke up, the way she prayed, the way she made decisions. Her connection with Allah must have been strong. She had seen His signs with her own eyes. She had felt His mercy. She had tasted His guidance. And that made every day of her life a blessing. Every breath was filled with meaning. Every moment was a chance to grow closer to her Lord. This is what happens when someone truly submits. They do not become weak. They become full of strength. But the right kind of strength. Not the strength to control others, but the strength to control themselves. To choose truth over pride. To choose light over darkness. When we think about her journey, it also reminds us of our own. We may not be kings or queens, but we all have a throne in our hearts. And sometimes that throne is filled with pride, with desires, with false beliefs. But when we clear it and place Allah on that throne, everything changes. We start to see with different eyes. We speak with different words. We live with a different purpose. That is what Bilqis did. She replaced falsehood with truth, and that made her story unforgettable. She did not argue with Sulayman. She did not fight to protect her old beliefs. She listened. She asked. She thought. And when she knew it was the truth, she accepted it with full heart. This is a rare quality. Many people see the truth, but their pride stops them. They worry about what others will say. They worry about losing status, respect, or power. But Bilqis didn't let those things stop her. She chose what was right, even if it meant letting go of what she had known her whole life. That takes strength. That takes humility. That takes sincerity. Sometimes we need to ask ourselves, are we like the people of Sheba, living with comfort but without direction? Are we like Bilqis before she met Sulayman, thinking we have everything while missing the most important thing? Or are we like her after she saw the truth, ready to change, ready to grow, ready to submit to our Creator? These are important questions, because her story is not just her story, it is a mirror for us, a way to look into our own hearts and see where we stand. Allah chose to mention her story in the Quran. That alone shows us how important it is. The Quran is not a history book. It does not tell us every event in the past. It only tells us what we need for our hearts. And if Allah mentioned Bilqis, it means her journey holds a deep lesson for every believer. It is a lesson about wisdom, about sincerity, about letting go of false pride, and about recognizing the truth when it comes. When we reflect on this story, we should also feel hopeful, because it shows us that Allah can guide anyone, no matter how far they are, no matter how long they have lived in darkness, no matter how powerful or poor, famous or unknown. When the heart opens, Allah sends the light, sometimes through a bird, sometimes through a person, sometimes through a moment we never expected. That is the mercy of Allah. He does not leave the sincere heart in confusion. He guides it, just like He guided Bilqis. We also learn that we don't always need big miracles to believe. Sometimes small signs are enough. A letter, a word, a reflection. In water, a moment of silence. These things may seem simple, but if the heart is ready, they can open a door to faith. That is why we should never ignore the small moments in our life. They may be carrying a message, a reminder, a call from our Lord, and we should always keep our hearts open, ready to listen. The more we think about the journey of Bilqis, the more we realize how beautiful it is. It starts with a queen who had everything, but didn't know her Lord. And it ends with a woman who found peace, truth, and purpose. A queen who humbled herself before her Creator and found real strength in submission. Her story is simple but deep, calm but powerful. It touches the heart because it speaks to something all of us feel. The need to know why we are here, the need to find the truth, the need to connect with the one who made us. Every time we remember her story, it should remind us of the gift of guidance. It is the greatest gift anyone can receive. Greater than wealth, greater than fame, greater than even a kingdom. Because it gives the heart what it truly needs, and it gives the soul what it was created for. To know Allah, to love Him, to worship Him, to walk through this life with Him in our hearts. Bilqis found that, and her name will be remembered forever, not just because she was a queen, but because she became a believer. And that is the greatest honor anyone can have. Bilqis stood there in the palace, surrounded by wonders her eyes had never seen before. The floor that looked like flowing water, but was actually clear glass, was not just a trick. It was a sign that the world she thought she understood was much bigger, much deeper, and much more beautiful than she ever imagined. In that quiet moment, she realized that her power, her throne, her gold, and her kingdom were all nothing compared to the truth that was now in front of her. This man was not an ordinary king. He had knowledge, wisdom, and a light that came only from Allah. And when she said that she had wronged herself and now submitted to the Lord of the worlds, something changed forever inside her. This moment was not just about words. It was about the heart. Her heart had found what it had been searching for all along. Not more gold, not more land, not more praise from people, but truth. Real truth. The kind that fills the soul with peace and opens the eyes to something far greater than anything the world can offer. She did not become weak by submitting to Allah. She became stronger, strong in a new way, strong in faith, in clarity, in purpose. She was no longer just the Queen of Sheba. She was now a servant of Allah. Imagine the courage it took to accept the truth in front of so many people. She was a queen. People bowed to her. People obeyed her. But now she was choosing to bow to her Creator. She was not thinking about pride or image. She was thinking about what was right. She had the chance to walk away. She could have refused the truth. She could have returned to her kingdom with excuses. But she didn't. She chose to follow the truth. And that made her one of the wisest and bravest people of her time. After accepting Islam, her heart must have felt so light. The burden of false beliefs was gone. The questions in her heart were answered. She could now see clearly. Everything started to make sense. She had found the one who created her, who gave her life, who gave her power, and who had now guided her to himself. That is the beauty of guidance. It comes from Allah. It reaches the heart in a way nothing else can. And when the heart opens to it, the world becomes a different place. More peaceful, more meaningful, more real. She must have looked at Prophet Sulayman with deep respect, not because he had an army or a kingdom, but because he brought her the message that changed her life. He didn't shout, he didn't force, he just invited her, with wisdom, patience, and signs that spoke louder than words. That is how true dawah works. It is not about control, it is about calling with love, understanding, and clear proof. Sulayman had the power to crush her kingdom, but instead, he chose to guide her. He showed her something greater than any treasure. He showed her the way to Allah. Her journey from a powerful queen to a humble believer is a lesson for everyone. It teaches us that no matter how high someone is in the world, they still need to find the truth. And no matter how far someone is from Allah, He can guide them if their heart is open. Sometimes the signs come in simple ways. A bird, a letter, a floor of glass. These are not big miracles to the eyes, but to the heart. They are huge. They shake the soul. They make us stop and think. And when we stop and think, that's when change begins. Now imagine her going back to her kingdom. Her steps feel lighter. Her heart is filled with peace. But also she knows things will be different now. Her people are still worshiping the sun. They are still living in darkness. How will they react when their queen tells them she has changed? Her faith? It was not going to be easy. But she was ready. Because now she had something stronger than fear. She had faith. She had the truth. And she had the responsibility to share it. She had to tell her people that the sun is not God. It is only a creation, just like the moon, the stars, and the earth. All of them are under the command of the one true Creator who gives them light, who moves them in the sky, who created us and gives us everything we have. She had to explain that what they were worshiping all this time was just a part of creation, not the one who deserves worship. She had to speak with wisdom, just like Sulayman spoke to her. She knew shouting or forcing would not help. She had to be patient. She had to show the truth with calmness, just as it was shown to her. We don't know every detail of how her people responded. The Quran doesn't tell us everything that happened after, but we know that her heart changed, and we know that she submitted to Allah with sincerity, and that is the most important part of the story. Sometimes we want to know what happened next, how people reacted, what the result was. But the Quran focuses on the moment of truth, the moment when the heart finds Allah. Because that moment is everything. It is the beginning of a new life, a life with purpose, with peace, with light. Think about how many people live today like the people of Sheba. They have wealth, they have knowledge, they have comfort, but they are worshiping the wrong things. Some worship the sun, some worship money, Some worship fame or power or even their own desires. But deep inside, they are still searching. Because none of those things can fill the heart. Only the Creator can. Only the one who made us knows what we need, and He is always near, waiting for us to turn to Him, just like He was there for Bilqis. There is something very special about how the story shows the power of simple signs. A bird bringing news, a letter with just a few words, a throne moved in seconds, a floor of glass. These were not just miracles, they were messages. Messages from Allah to wake up the heart. And that is how Allah guides people. Sometimes it is through a small event, a moment that seems unimportant, a word from a friend, a feeling in the heart, a verse in the Quran, and suddenly, everything changes. That is how guidance works. It starts with something small, but if we follow it, it takes us to something great. The way Sulayman dealt with Bilqis also teaches us a lot. He did not act like a proud king. He acted like a humble servant of Allah. Even when her throne was brought to him in the blink of an eye, he didn't say, "Look what I can do." He said, "This is a test from my Lord. Will I be thankful or not?" That is the heart of a true believer. Even when Allah gives them power, they stay humble. They remember that everything they have is a gift, not something they earned on their own. And they use that gift to help others, not to control them. Bilqis saw that. She saw the difference between a worldly king and a prophet of Allah, and that's what touched her heart. That's what made her believe. She had met many powerful men before, but Sulayman was different. He had power but no arrogance. He had knowledge but no pride. He had miracles, but he gave all the credit to Allah, and that is what made his message so powerful. It was not about him, it was about the truth. Now imagine what kind of believer Bilqis became. Someone who had ruled a great nation, who had tasted all the pleasures of the world, but now found joy in prayer, in worship, in knowing her Lord. Imagine how her nights changed. Before, maybe she looked at the stars and felt alone. Now, she looked at them and felt connected, because she knew the one who made them. Before, maybe she thought about how to protect her kingdom. Now, she thought about how to please her Creator. Her whole world had changed. And that is the beauty of Iman. It gives new life to everything around you. Every part of her story is a reminder to us. No one is too far from Allah. No one is too high or too low to be guided. And no matter where we are in life, we can still find the truth, if we are sincere. Bilqis didn't get guided because she was a queen. She got guided because her heart was open. She was willing to listen, she was willing to change. And Allah sent her the signs. Even now Allah sends signs. To me, to you, to all of us. The question is, do we stop and think? Do we ask ourselves what is true? Do we look at the sky, the sun, the moon, and ask, who made all this? Who gave me life? Who gave me the heart that feels, the eyes that see, the mind that thinks? When we start asking these questions, the journey begins. Just like it began for Bilqis. She didn't have the Quran. She didn't have years of learning. But she had one thing. She had a heart that wanted the truth. And that was enough. Allah sent her the message. He brought her to the light. And He can do the same for anyone. That is why her story is not just a story from the past. It is a message for the present. For anyone who feels lost. For anyone who is searching. For anyone who wants to find peace. There is always a way back to the truth. No matter how long we have been in darkness. No matter how far we have gone. If our heart is open, Allah will guide us. Sometimes through a bird. Sometimes through a word. Sometimes through a voice. Sometimes through a story like this one. Bilqis found the truth because she followed the signs. She didn't ignore them. She didn't let pride stop her. She didn't let fear hold her back. She was brave enough to believe. And that made her story one of the most beautiful stories in history. Please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot and allows us to keep sharing deep, rare, and powerful stories with you. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to rule a kingdom so rich that gold and jewels were just part of daily life? A place where everything seemed perfect on the outside, But something important was still missing inside. Long ago, in the southern part of the Arabian Peninsula, there was a land called Saba. It was a beautiful and rich kingdom, full of gardens, rivers, and tall palaces. The people there were successful in trade and farming. They lived in peace and comfort. And at the center of it all was a woman who ruled over them. Her name was Bilqis. She was known for her intelligence and wisdom. Her people loved and respected her. She was strong, kind, and thoughtful. Many kings in that time ruled with power and fear, but Bilqis ruled with balance. She listened before speaking. She thought before acting. She understood that a ruler must protect the people, not only control them. Even though she lived in a time when women rarely had power, she was the one sitting on the throne. And no one questioned it, because she had earned their trust. Her decisions were wise. Her kingdom was strong. Her palace was one of the most beautiful in the world. But something was still missing. You see, the people of Saba, including Bilqis, used to worship the sun. Every morning they would bow to the light rising in the sky. They believed it gave them life, success, and power. It was part of their culture and their pride. They had everything this world could offer: wealth, peace, comfort. But they did not know the truth about the one who created them. They thought the sun was their god. They didn't know that above the sky, beyond what they could see, there was a creator who made the sun itself, the one who gives light to the sun, who gives life to the earth, and who created all of us. That truth had not yet reached them. This is where the story becomes very special. Far away from the land of Saba, there was a prophet named Sulayman. He was not an ordinary prophet. Allah had given him something unique. He could understand the language of birds. He could speak to the jinn. He had an army that included men, jinn, and even birds. His power was great, but his heart was full of wisdom. He used his strength not for pride, but for justice. And his goal was always to bring people to the truth, to call them to worship Allah, the one who created everything. One day, Prophet Sulayman was reviewing his army. As he looked over the birds, he noticed that one of them was missing. It was the hoopoe bird, called hudhud in Arabic. At first, he was upset. He wondered where the bird had gone without permission, but he also knew that every creature in his army had a role. So he waited to hear what happened. Not long after, the hoopoe returned, and it came with news that would change history. The bird told Sulayman something amazing. It said that it had found a land called Saba. It spoke of a woman who ruled over the people there. She had everything: a strong kingdom, great wealth, and a magnificent throne. But there was one problem. She and her people were worshiping the sun instead of Allah. They were bowing to a creation, not to the Creator. This was a serious matter. Sulayman knew that guidance needed to reach them. But he also understood that forcing someone into belief is not the way. The heart must choose it. So he decided to send a message. Not a threat, not a demand, but a clear and respectful invitation. He wrote a letter. A very short letter, but with powerful words. He gave it to the hoopoe and told it to deliver it to Queen Bilqis. He said, "Go to them and place this letter before her. Then turn away and wait to see how she reacts." The bird flew across mountains and valleys until it reached the land of Saba. It dropped the letter quietly and flew away. Imagine Bilqis sitting in her palace, surrounded by her advisors and servants. Suddenly, a strange bird comes and leaves something behind. She picks up the letter and reads it. It said, "In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most kind, do not be proud with me, but come to me in submission to Allah." The words were simple, but they carried a weight that touched the heart. She could feel that this was not from an ordinary person. She didn't know Sulayman yet, but the letter was different. It didn't threaten her. It didn't flatter her. It invited her to something greater than she had ever known. Instead of reacting with anger or fear, Bilqis chose wisdom. She called her advisors and showed them the letter. She asked them what they thought. Her advisors were strong men used to war and power. They said, "We are strong and ready for battle. If you want to fight, we will fight." But she didn't rush. She listened to them, but she also understood something deeper. She said, "When kings enter a city by force, they destroy it. They ruin everything." She didn't want her people to suffer. She didn't want war. She wanted to understand first, so she decided to send a gift. She prepared a rich gift, full of gold, silver, fine cloth, and precious jewels. She sent her messengers with the gift to Prophet Sulayman. Her goal was to see what kind of man he was. Was he just a king hungry for wealth? Or was he really a man of God? She thought, if he accepts the gift and says nothing more, maybe he is like the other kings. But if he refuses, then there is something more to him. Her heart was beginning to wonder. She had ruled for years, but now she was facing something she had never faced before. The messengers traveled far and finally arrived at the court of Sulayman. They entered a place unlike anything they had seen before. The throne, the army, the peace, it all spoke of power. But what was more shocking was the response they received. Sulayman looked at the gift and said, "Do you offer me wealth? What Allah has given me is better than what you offer." He did not need gold or silver. He already had more than they could imagine. But more importantly, he had something that cannot be bought. He had guidance. He had truth. He told the messengers to return to their queen and tell her this: "Come to me with submission, not to him but to Allah." Now the messengers understood. This was not a man looking for tribute. This was a prophet calling to truth. They returned to Bilqis and told her everything. She listened. She thought. She began to understand that this man was different. Her gift was not enough to stop him because he didn't want anything from her, except for her heart to recognize the truth. Now Bilqis had a choice. She could reject his call and prepare for war, or she could go and see for herself. She chose to go. She prepared her journey and set out to meet Prophet Sulayman. But while she was still on the way, something extraordinary was happening. Sulayman, by the will of Allah, decided to prepare a sign for her. He asked his court, "Who among you can bring me her throne before she arrives?" One of the strong jinn said, "I can bring it to you before you rise from your seat." But then, a man who had knowledge from the book, knowledge given by Allah, said, "I can bring it in the blink of an eye." And it happened. Before Sulayman even blinked, the throne of Bilqis was brought to him, right there in his palace. He looked at the throne and thanked Allah. He didn't feel proud of himself. He said, "This is a test from my Lord. Will I be grateful or will I be ungrateful?" This was the character of a true prophet. Even when he had power beyond imagination, his heart remained humble. Then he ordered that the throne be slightly changed in appearance. Just a little. Not too much. His goal was to see if Bilqis would recognize it when she arrived. When she came, he asked her, "Is this your throne?" She looked at it, she studied it, and she said, "It looks like it." She didn't lie, she didn't accuse. She answered with intelligence, and in her heart she began to feel something strange. How could her throne be here? How did it come before her? She started to understand that what she was seeing was not normal. It was something from another world. A sign. A message. Her heart was opening. Slowly, gently, she was beginning to believe that there was something more powerful than all the riches of her kingdom. As she stood there, amazed, Sulayman invited her to enter his palace. She walked toward a large hall. The floor was shining, smooth and clear. It looked like water. She thought it was a stream or a pool. So she lifted her dress to walk across. But he said, "It is not water, it is glass." The floor was made from crystal so clear that it looked like water. At that moment, everything changed. Bilqis realized that she had never seen anything like this before. Not in her palace, not in her travels, not in all her years of ruling. And the truth hit her heart, like light entering a dark room. This man was not just a king, he was a prophet. This was not just a palace, it was a place filled with the signs of God. Her pride melted, her heart opened, Her voice was calm, but full of feeling. She said, "I have wronged myself. I now submit, along with Sulayman, to Allah, the Lord of the worlds." And with those words, a queen who had everything in this world found something greater. She found faith.